What if I told you that one small seed sitting in your kitchen right now could help protect your vision? And most people over 60 are ignoring it completely. If your eyes feel tired more often, if reading the newspaper gets harder each week, or if bright lights at night make you squint more than they used to, you're not alone. Thousands of seniors lose clarity in their central vision each year, thinking it's just getting older. But sometimes the problem isn't age, it's what's missing in your daily diet. Today, I'm going to reveal one powerful seed backed by science that can help support your retina, reduce eye strain, and naturally protect your vision after 60. Even better, it's affordable, easy to add to breakfast, and safe for most seniors. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use it, how much to take, and how it can help you see more clearly for years to come. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching this from? And what time of day is it? Drop a comment below, even if it's just a simple moment in your day. I'd love to know. And if this topic speaks to you, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss another helpful tip. Mistake number 6, improper storage. It's a quiet habit in many American kitchens, one that feels simple, even comforting. You chop a few cloves of garlic, pour some olive oil into a mason jar, and leave it on the counter. Maybe it's for salad dressings, maybe to drizzle on toast, or maybe just because your grandmother in South Carolina used to do the same thing. But what if I told you that this small act, this innocent tradition, could be hiding a danger that's especially serious for older adults? You see, when garlic is submerged in oil and left unrefrigerated, it creates the perfect low-oxygen environment for a deadly bacterium called Clostridium botulinum. This bacteria doesn't change the smell, it doesn't alter the color or texture, but inside that jar, it can begin to produce a toxin that silently attacks your nervous system. It's called botulism. And for seniors, the risk is real. Doctors at the Mayo Clinic have documented cases where people developed blurred vision, dry mouth, and muscle weakness within 24 hours of consuming garlic oil left at room temperature. In the most severe cases, that weakness spreads to the chest, leading to difficulty breathing. And without immediate care, it can be fatal. That's not just theory. That's been seen in emergency rooms from Florida to Oregon. Now, most people don't even know this is possible, and I understand why. It seems so far-fetched. But one study published in the Journal of Food Protection examined nearly 50 cases of botulism from homemade garlic in oil recipes. The common mistake? Leaving it out on the counter for more than 48 hours. That short amount of time was enough to increase toxin levels by over 400%. So what can we do instead? Especially if we still want that rich infused flavor we love in Italian cooking or over-roasted vegetables. The good news is there's a simple fix. If you're making garlic oil at home, always keep it in the refrigerator and use it within 7 days. Cold temperatures slow the growth of bacteria dramatically, and for added safety, you can mix in a bit of lemon juice or vinegar. These acids lower the pH and make it harder for Clostridium to survive. But if you want something even easier, and honestly more flavorful, try this. Take whole, unpeeled garlic cloves, toss them in olive oil, and roast them in the oven at 300 degrees for 45 minutes. You'll get that soft, mellow garlic taste without the risk. You can then store the oil in the fridge and enjoy it safely. In a country like America, where food is often tied to memory, family, and comfort, it can be hard to question our habits. But protecting our health as we age sometimes means looking twice at the small things. And when it comes to food safety, especially for older adults whose immune systems may not respond as strongly, one small change can make a very big difference. Mistake number 5. Using garlic while treating diabetes. It's a quiet evening in a small town outside Denver. A retired teacher, 71 years old, is sipping chamomile tea and scrolling through articles about natural ways to support blood sugar. One headline catches her eye: Garlic for diabetes. It sounds promising. After all, garlic is natural, affordable, and has been trusted for generations in kitchens across America. So, she begins adding 2 cloves of raw garlic to her breakfast every day, believing it might help her feel more in control of her numbers. But 3 nights later, something frightening happens. Her husband wakes to find her trembling, cold, and unresponsive. A call to 911. A blood sugar reading of 38. Paramedics arrive just in time to give a glucose injection. She survives, but with a terrifying question in her mind: what went wrong? Here's the truth many seniors across the US don't know, especially those living with type 2 diabetes. Garlic, though natural, isn't harmless when combined with diabetes medications like metformin or insulin. The reason lies in a powerful compound called allicin, which boosts insulin sensitivity and increases how much sugar your cells absorb from your bloodstream. That might sound helpful, but when you're already taking medication designed to lower blood sugar, adding garlic can cause it to drop too far, too fast. This reaction, called hypoglycemia, is more than just dizziness or feeling faint. It can lead to confusion, slurred speech, seizures, or even coma if not treated in time. And the danger often strikes when you least expect it, during sleep, while grocery shopping, or out on a morning walk in the park. According to the CDC, nearly 1 in 3 older Americans with diabetes experience at least one hypoglycemic event each year, and many go unreported because the signs are subtle or mistaken for fatigue. So how can you still enjoy the benefits of garlic safely? First, timing is everything. Always take garlic with meals, never on an empty stomach. Eating it with food slows the release of allicin into your bloodstream, reducing the risk of a sudden drop in sugar. Second, start with just 1 small clove per day, not more. Your body needs time to adjust, especially if you've never used garlic regularly before. Third, and this one is crucial, let your doctor know. Many seniors feel embarrassed to mention supplements or home remedies during appointments, but it matters. Garlic can change how your medication works, and your doctor might need to adjust your dosage slightly. There's no shame in that. In fact, it shows that you're actively taking care of your health. If you have a sensitive stomach or just don't like raw garlic, consider using cooked garlic instead. Roasting or lightly sautéing garlic reduces the allicin by about 40%, but keeps many of its heart-healthy and immune-boosting compounds. Another safe option for seniors in America is aged garlic extract, which goes through a natural fermentation process. It's easier on digestion and still supports circulation, cholesterol, and blood sugar in a gentler way. In the end, garlic isn't the enemy, but misunderstanding it can be. In a country where millions of seniors live with diabetes and strive for natural solutions, knowing how and when to use garlic could mean the difference between steady progress and an unexpected emergency. Your health deserves both wisdom and care, with every clove, every day. Mistake number 4. Eating raw garlic on an empty stomach, especially when you have digestive problems. It starts with good intentions. Somewhere in Ohio, a retired librarian wakes up early, pours a glass of warm water, and crushes 2 cloves of raw garlic. She read online that it could help with immunity, maybe even lower her blood pressure. And because she wants to do something good for her body, she swallows the garlic on an empty stomach, day after day, week after week. At first, it feels fine. But then one morning, she notices a sharp, burning pain in her belly. She dismisses it, blaming last night's dinner. But by the end of the week, that pain has turned into nausea, and one evening she begins to vomit blood. At the ER, doctors discover she has a bleeding ulcer, one that's been aggravated by the raw garlic taken each morning without food. What happened to her isn't rare. Across the US, more and more older adults are turning to natural remedies, especially garlic, hoping to support their health without adding more pills. But raw garlic, when taken on an empty stomach, can become surprisingly harsh, especially for aging digestive systems. You see, garlic contains sulfur compounds like allicin, which give it its medicinal power, but also its ability to irritate. When your stomach is empty, the lining is more exposed, less protected, and garlic stimulates acid production, which can worsen inflammation or trigger bleeding in people who already have gastritis, ulcers, or conditions like Crohn's or colitis. In fact, researchers from Seoul National University followed 89 patients with known stomach ulcers. Among those who consumed raw garlic regularly, nearly half developed bleeding episodes, and some even required blood transfusions. For people living with Crohn's disease or irritable bowel syndrome, conditions common among older Americans, the effects can be even more severe. One man from Wisconsin, age 64, had his Crohn's disease in remission for over 2 years. Then he began a new routine of raw garlic in the mornings, hoping to boost immunity during flu season. Within 5 days, he was hospitalized with intestinal bleeding and inflammation that took weeks to calm. The good news is, you don't have to give up garlic completely. There are safer, smarter ways to enjoy its benefits without putting your stomach at risk. First, never eat raw garlic on an empty stomach. Instead, pair it with gentle, soothing foods like oatmeal, yogurt, or a bit of honey in warm water. This buffers the acid and helps protect the stomach lining. Second, consider cooking your garlic. Lightly sauteing or roasting garlic reduces the harsh sulfur compounds by up to 60%, while preserving many of its heart and immune benefits. Or, for those with especially sensitive digestion, aged garlic extract may be a better choice. It's gentler, fermented over time, and has been shown in studies to support cardiovascular health without irritating the gut. In America, where so many older adults are searching for ways to take control of their health naturally, it's easy to overlook the small risks that come with good intentions. But when it comes to garlic, how and when you take it matters just as much as why. Treat your body with the same kindness and care you give your loved ones. Because aging with strength isn't about doing more. It's about doing things wisely and with love. Mistake number 3, taking garlic before surgery. In a quiet suburb of Atlanta, a 68-year-old grandfather was preparing for what should have been a simple outpatient surgery, a routine gallbladder removal. He followed every instruction: no food after midnight, brought someone to drive him home, filled out the forms. But one thing was missing from the pre-op checklist. No one asked about his garlic supplements, and he didn't think to mention them. After all, it's just garlic, right? What he and many older adults in America don't realize is that garlic isn't just a seasoning. It's a potent, natural blood thinner. When consumed regularly, especially in the form of raw cloves or concentrated capsules, garlic can significantly reduce the ability of your blood to clot. This might sound helpful if you're trying to support heart health, but during surgery, it can become dangerous. Doctors at the Cleveland Clinic have documented multiple cases where unexpected bleeding during surgery was traced back to patients taking garlic. It's not that garlic is bad, but when you're under anesthesia and your body is already vulnerable, even a small clotting delay can mean more blood loss, longer recovery, and added risk. In some dental procedures or colonoscopies, garlic has caused excessive bleeding despite normal lab results. That's why surgeons across the US, from California to New York, now advise stopping all garlic consumption at least 10 days before any procedure, even minor ones. This includes supplements, teas, and heavy garlic meals. It's not about fear. It's about giving your body the best chance to heal safely. And that starts with honesty, sharing every part of your daily routine, even something as simple as a clove of garlic. Because when you're over 60, every decision, no matter how small, becomes a vital piece of the bigger picture: your health, your recovery, your life. Mistake number 2, eating too much raw garlic. 10 cloves day. It began as a wellness challenge on social media. A young fitness influencer from California encouraging her followers to eat 25 raw garlic cloves a day. She called it natural detox, claimed it gave her more energy, clearer skin, and boosted immunity. But just 1 week into this extreme routine, she collapsed mid-workout and was rushed to a hospital in Los Angeles. Blood tests showed severe anemia, signs of liver stress, and chemical burns in her esophagus. The cause? Garlic, too much, too fast, and taken raw. Now, you might think this only applies to young people chasing trends, but here in America, more and more seniors are also turning to garlic for its natural benefits, especially for heart health, blood pressure, and cholesterol. And while it is powerful, when overused, garlic stops acting like food and starts acting like a drug, one that your body, especially an older body, may not be able to process safely. You see, raw garlic contains a compound called allicin, known for its healing properties, but in large amounts, allicin becomes a strong oxidizing agent, capable of damaging red blood cells and irritating the sensitive tissues in your throat and stomach. This oxidative stress can trigger hemolytic anemia, a condition where your red blood cells are destroyed faster than your body can replace them. For seniors in the US, who may already have thinner stomach linings, slower liver function, or be on multiple medications, high doses of garlic can quietly wear the body down. That burning in your chest, that fatigue you can't explain, or the black stool you thought was from iron supplements could be early signs of garlic overload. The truth is, more doesn't always mean better. 1 or 2 cloves a day with food is often enough to support your health without causing harm. And if you're unsure, always ask your doctor, because even something as natural as garlic deserves a little respect. Mistake song. Using garlic with anticoagulants. Warfarin, Eliqui. In a quiet apartment in Tampa, Florida, a 72-year-old man was enjoying his usual routine: morning coffee, a short walk, and his daily medications. Among them was warfarin, a common blood thinner, prescribed after his mild stroke 2 years ago. Wanting to boost his immunity during flu season, he also began taking a garlic supplement he bought at a local health store. something he didn't think was important enough to mention to his doctor. A week later, he was found collapsed on the bathroom floor. The diagnosis: a spontaneous brain bleed. His INR, the blood clotting measure, had jumped dangerously high, and doctors traced it back to the combination of garlic and warfarin. It wasn't the dose of the medicine that changed, it was the garlic, silently amplifying the effects. You see, garlic doesn't just thin the blood naturally, it also interferes with enzymes in the liver, specifically cytochrome P450 that help metabolize blood-thinning drugs. This means your medication stays in the bloodstream longer, working more strongly than intended. That can be helpful in some cases, but for people over 60, taking anticoagulants like Eliquis, Plavix, or warfarin, the result can be deadly. Here in the US, more than 8 million older adults are prescribed blood thinners. And yet, many also try natural remedies without fully understanding the interactions. Garlic, when eaten raw or taken in capsule form, becomes more than a food. It becomes a variable that can shift your entire medication balance. So what's the safest path forward? If you're taking any anticoagulant, avoid raw garlic and concentrated garlic pills unless your doctor closely monitors your INR. A small amount in cooked meals, like in soup or pasta, is typically fine, but consistency matters. The body can adjust to steady intake, but it struggles with surprises. In the end, garlic is powerful, and power, as we know in medicine, always needs wisdom. In the warm kitchen of a home in St. Paul, Minnesota, a retired nurse named Ellen begins her day with a quiet ritual. She peels a single clove of garlic, crushes it gently with the side of a knife, and sets it aside on a small wooden plate. Then she waits. Not because she's in a rush, but because she knows something powerful is happening inside that crushed clove. You see, when garlic is chopped or crushed, it triggers a natural chemical reaction. An enzyme called alliinase gets activated, converting compounds into allicin, the compound responsible for garlic's medicinal effects. But here's the secret most people miss. This process takes time. According to research from Penn State University, letting crushed garlic sit for 10 full minutes before cooking or eating boosts its allicin content by nearly 1,900%. That's the kind of small habit that can make a big difference, especially for older adults in America looking to improve heart health or support immunity. For many seniors, garlic is more than a flavor. It's a natural ally. Studies have shown it helps lower blood pressure, balance cholesterol, and even support circulation. But as with any remedy, it's all about the how. Raw garlic has the highest allicin content, yes, but it can also be harsh on sensitive stomachs, particularly for folks over 60 with digestive issues or a history of reflux. That's where gentle cooking comes in. When you heat garlic at around 140 for 15 minutes, you preserve roughly 82% of the allicin while making it easier to digest. Go higher or cook too long, and the beneficial compounds start to break down. So think low and slow, like roasting, light sautéing, or warming in olive oil. Speaking of olive oil, let's talk absorption. Garlic contains fat-soluble compounds, which means they absorb better when eaten with healthy fats. That's why pairing garlic with olive oil, especially extra virgin, isn't just tasty. It actually helps your body use more of what garlic offers. And in many parts of the US, where heart disease is still the #1 cause of death among older adults, this kind of nutrition matters. So what's the ideal dose? For most seniors, 1 large clove a day, about 4 grams, is enough to gain the cardiovascular benefits without risking digestive upset. You don't need to overload your system. In fact, consistency is far more important than quantity. Here's one simple way to enjoy it. Crush one fresh clove of garlic and let it rest 10 minutes. Then stir it into a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil with a pinch of sea salt. Spread that over a slice of whole grain toast and warm it in a toaster oven for a few minutes. The result? A delicious, heart-healthy snack that nourishes your body without shocking your system. In American culture, food is often treated as fuel or flavor, but at this stage of life, it becomes something more sacred. It becomes medicine, memory, and meaning. For seniors from New York to New Mexico, learning how to use garlic the right way is a small but powerful step in caring for the only body they'll ever have. Because at the end of the day, longevity isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. One clove, one meal, one thoughtful choice at a time. Garlic has been part of American kitchens for generations, from garlic bread at Sunday dinners in Chicago to roasted cloves served with fish in coastal Maine. But somewhere along the way, many of us forgot that garlic isn't just a flavor. It's a natural medicine, and like any medicine, it has the power to heal or to harm, depending on how we use it. For older adults living across the US, from Arizona retirees to busy grandparents in New York, this truth becomes even more important. Because as our bodies age, they change. What once felt harmless might now interact with medications, affect blood pressure, or upset digestion in ways we didn't expect. That doesn't mean garlic should be feared. It simply means it deserves respect. You don't have to give it up. You just have to use it wisely. Crush it the right way. Pair it with the right foods. Avoid it at the wrong times, especially before surgery or when taking blood thinners. Most importantly, listen to your body, because no two bodies, especially after 60, are exactly the same. So here's my invitation to you. If garlic has helped you or surprised you, share your experience in the comments below. Have you noticed changes in how your body reacts to it? What's your favorite way to use garlic in your meals? I'd truly love to hear your story. And if this video helped you or opened your eyes to something new, don't keep it to yourself. Hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone you love, especially if they're using garlic without knowing the risks. Because in the end, knowledge isn't just power. For older adults across America, it's protection. And that protection can start with something as small as a clove of garlic.